Hello friends, I am Arnab Guha and I am founder of Impeccable Innovations Private Limited. It's a agri-food, health food startup company. Okay, and today we are going to talk on a very really interesting subject in our Spotify Sunday Nutrition Darbar on water and why water is so important and how water and fiber are an extreme elixir of life. So let me share this presentation quickly, and as and when people join, we will let them enter into this call. Okay, so I hope you are able to hear me. And so the caption of today's topic is water, the most neglected source of nourishment, is it? So in the slide, what you try to understand is where you are in, position you are in. Okay, so that is very important to understand. So we'll talk more about the balanced diet, facts of water, dietary fiber, and how it is impacting the gut health. So what is balanced diet? Balanced diet is something which has a balanced proportion of various important components like carbohydrate, protein, then fat, and as well as sufficient level of micronutrients, and obviously plenty of water. And the quantity of the food which is needed to meet this nutrient requirements varies as per the age, gender, and physiological status, as well as the physical activity. So unless you have everything in a balanced proportion, which we have written around 50 to 60% carbohydrate, protein around 15%, the fat should be around 20 to 30%. Micronutrients, each micronutrient has a different level. Okay, and plenty of water. But obviously what we have to understand is nothing in life is harmful if it is consumed in a balanced proportion. If it is more or less than the required, both the conditions, both the states are harmful to the body. So is food a necessity or luxury? Okay, so maybe those people who are joining today are in this state where in urban India we are enjoying our meals, but definitely there are people who are also in this state, the children, maybe in the Anganwadis, they may not get a proper square meals, or maybe they are not being fed with good amount of nutritious meal. Maybe their parents are not able to afford or have an access to good nutritious meal, and even clean water, safe and clean water. Okay, so it's not like everyone, we are all in the same state. And even in certain cases in India, the situation is even worse. Okay, because of the poverty, lack of education, lack of accessibility, lack of knowledge, lot of issues are there in India. But definitely we should be able to strive for what is the best and how we can help our fellow citizens to achieve it. So to come back to the main topic on the water, do you know that in our body there is no water, 0% water? Maybe it is funny for you, but yes, all the water is actually in a fluid condition, maybe with some electrolyte and some other cell organelles and all. So usually what I want to say here is when an infant is born, a newborn is having a fluid content in his body, in his or her body, around 75%. In the first birthday, by the first birthday, their fluid amount decreases to 60 to 65%, and it is remaining constant throughout the life. Coming back to the organs of our body, like brain and heart, it has around 75% moisture, I'll say, and lungs has around 83% moisture, and bones have around 30% moisture. We lose around 2 to 3 liters of water every day, and we need to compensate the fluid loss, which may be due to the urine, due to the stool, due to the perspiration, and due to the breathing. Okay, so if anyone has gone to hill station, so you must have seen that when you release your breath, there is some sort of smoke coming from your nose and mouth. So what is that? It is the condensation of the moisture which you are releasing every moment. So just imagine in a 24 hours how much amount of moisture you are releasing through just breathing. Okay, so very important to understand. And every organ is dependent on the water intake that you do. And a few of the important functions We will come to many other functions later in the presentation, but lubrication of the joint and regulation of the body temperature, nourishment of the brain and the spinal cord, which is the CNS, central nervous system, is really dependent on the water intake of your body. So water is a neutral pH entity. Okay. Usually the pH, like in the acidic, the highest acidic pH is 1, while the highest alkaline pH is 14. So water is in between, that is neutral, 7 pH, the water that we usually drink. Okay. So to access to the clean water, what I've told in the previous slide, is a real challenge in India, and government, various authorities are really working. New technologies are also coming so that we can give a clean, safe, but a cheap source of water. And water is so ubiquitous in our environment that people should not break their head in getting an accessibility to great clean water. So coming back to the amount of the water that is required by men and women, men require around 2.5 to 3.7 liters per day of water, while women will require around 2 to 2.7 liters per day. I'm talking this about the adults. And also it depends on what is your age. Are you healthy? Are you active? Or are you doing strenuous activities? So see, I want to drink a little bit of water. So this is the best drink in your life. Wow, and that refreshes me. And definitely it's a healthiest hydrator. Other than the other beverages are there, fruit juices and other drinks are there, tea, coffee, but nothing beats a clean and safe water. Another thing that I want to tell you here is around 20% of the total water intake comes from the food, from the solid food or the semi-solid food. We usually urinate around 7 to 10 times a day. That's normal. And the urine pH is around 5 to 6. That is also normal. So anything beyond this figure is low, whether it is high, you have to understand where you stand in your health condition. Back to the another water facts, the two things which is very, very important: dehydration and overhydration. As you see in the right side, you will see the raisins, which are the dehydrated product of the, let's say, the grapes. And once the moisture is removed, it shrinks. Similar to that, our skins are also like that. So if you don't hydrate your body, then the skin of your body shrinks. Just imagine the skin you can see, the hand skin you can see, but what happens to the organ? It also shrinks. The blood vessels, it also shrinks if you dehydrate yourself too much. So what happens during a dehydrated condition is the sensory receptor in the brain hypothalamus gives the signal release of the antidiuretic hormones, and it reaches to the kidney. It creates aquaporin. So aquaporin are special channels which enables blood to absorb and retain more moisture, leading to concentrated dark yellowish urine. And as the result, you will feel a drop in your energy. Your mood will be, in Hindi we say chidchida, and the skin moisture will also decrease, and then you will also have a issue in the BP because your blood is not flowing in a proper speed, proper way. It can also result into cognitive impairment, and the biggest critical thing is your brain size can also shrink. So even if the brain has high amount of the fat, but definitely if you don't hydrate yourself, the brain size can shrink. But in an opposite case, what happens in an overhydration condition? Just imagine you're growing the rice and you're flooding. Okay, in the rice cultivation, paddy cultivation, flooding of the soil is fine. But if you flood your body with excess amount of water than the required, then what happens is there will be imbalance of the electrolyte of the sodium potassium level, and it will become diluted. And as the result, there can be swelling of the cell. Okay, because the electrolyte will go from high pressure to low pressure area of the blood. The kidney at that time cannot support diluted amount of urine so much, and it can also result in intoxication and as well as headache, vomiting, seizures, death, especially in the severe case. So let us not go to the severe case. I don't want to make you afraid of all these things, but definitely इन हिंदी we say किसी चीज के भी ज्यादा नहीं होनी चाहिए, किसी चीज का कम तो होना ही नहीं चाहिए, किसी चीज की अति भी नहीं होनी चाहिए, because end of the day anything which is excess amount of happiness, excess amount of sorrow, excess amount of money, excess amount of food, anything which is in excess is not good. Okay, so we have to control our lifestyle, our mood, our everything. Okay, this is very important. So let us understand what's the benefit of optimal hydration. I'll go slightly fast because I have to catch up a lot of things in a short period of time. So bear with me. Try to understand where you stand as of now. Do you have any of these ailments in your body? If you hydrate yourself well, then there is a lower chance of stroke. You can manage your diabetes better. It can also reduce certain types of cancer. It helps in painless bowel movement. Okay, and water soluble toxins. Usually toxins are fat soluble, but those are whatever free radicals or water soluble toxins can get flushed out from your body, and you will have a natural urge of passing stool, and it will reduce the inflammation and swelling in the body. In case of the obesity, if you drink proper amount of water, it fills your stomach, then you will not have a receptor craving which gives a signal to your brain that your stomach is empty. No, if you drink the water around, let's say 30 minutes before the meal, then while you are taking meal, you will not have the feeling of taking an excess amount of food, and it will improve your satiety factor, because sometimes we feel that even 3 roti is not good enough. Then we consume, especially in the north side, people consume 6 to 7 roti, which is totally almost absurd. Clinically, it is may not be that great to do. Okay, so it's a that we understand. Okay, then it stimulates the growth of RBCs. Water stimulates growth of, and having water on an empty stomach, it improves the energy level also. So everything is all about the RBCs that you see on the right side, cells. Okay, so if your body has increased amount of WBC, which is the white blood cell, it shows that you have a higher amount of infection in your body. But to counteract that, RBC level have to be an improved level. Okay, now coming back to the fact that sometimes we feel headache, it also can be due to you are not taking enough water. So, and in this corona time, we are all talking about immune system, but how many articles that you have read which says that drinking water helps in boosting even your gut health. So it's improved. It is very pertinent for you to hydrate your body and to help your immune system function better. And all these fruit, all these juices, different fruit juices are the fluids. You can also take the water in form of juices, fruit juices, natural fruit juices, and non-sugary fruit juices. That will help you, and it reduces your infection. Okay, and headache can also be due to some other triggers, but water, you have to check on water. Those people who are drinking very less water, they usually feel migraine. Feel headaches. It can be also due to some other factors, some other allergies, some other autoimmune disease, but definitely water will help you. Now, coming back to the skin. In India, we are all particular about our looks. Not only in India, everyone in the world is very particular about the looks. And just imagine a bride, she looks so pretty during the wedding. Okay, the skin looks flawless, but some due to the makeup they cover up, but the internal healing, the internal gut is the main thing, and it is one of the cheapest thing to do to keep your skin glowing, to keep your skin hydrated. Okay, we also see that today due to various hormonal imbalances in females especially, you get a lot of other issues. Acne is one of them, which also shows that your gut is not functioning well. So we need to flush out this toxins, what is getting accumulated. So if you don't drink, then definitely it will remain in your body. Then there is a greater chance of all these toxins getting flushed out, especially if these are water soluble toxins. And if it is a fat soluble, definitely you need to try to decrease your obesity level, your extra fat, especially the visceral fat in your tummy. So those are very important. And hydrating yourself increases your metabolic rate by 24%. Especially try to drink the water early in the morning once you wake up. and it burns more calorie and helps in digesting and assimilating the fat food much better and efficiently. I've been doing it for last 1.5 years, and my wife has been very supportive. Especially once I wake up, I get hot water, and sometimes I also give to all the other family members. But drinking hot water early in the morning really rejuvenates yourself. So drinking cold water on the other side just after a meal is a no-no, and also during the meal is also no, because it somehow impairs the enzymatic breakdown, enzymatic functioning of your digestion of the food. And another thing that you have to understand is water is also a carrier of micronutrient and various monomers unit of the nutrition. Like carbohydrate monomers are the glucose molecule, monomers are the peptides, fat monomers are the triglycerides, basically. So you have to understand all this. And while coming to the skin, what you have to also understand is, are you having premature aging? Sometimes okay, I'll take this in a different direction. Can you imagine what will be the age of this lady? If someone says she is 60-year-old, then I am saying this is a premature aging. But someone says her age might be 95, I'm saying it's fine. This is the outlook. The outlook appearance, outer appearance is around 95 to 100. If the person is aging, this appearance is fine. But if you get this aging, this wrinkling in your skin, or facial skin, or your other skin at the age of, let's say, 60, it's a premature aging. Okay, so we should not take all these things as is. We have to understand that definitely some of the things we need to improve in our diet. And drinking more water in a proper level definitely alleviates pain in your body. As I said, it decreases the inflammation in your body. It decreases the stress level and improves the central nervous system. And plus, those youngsters, teenagers who are building their muscles, going to gym, going running, doing exercise and all, unless they hydrate, they will not be able to build muscles. Okay, because when you're trying to build muscles, when you have to break the muscles, and then the muscle will attract water, and then it will swell up, and then it will again, you have to break the muscles, it will again need to get hydrated. That's how you will see people muscle in the arm or the leg or on the abs, they swell up. It's just that in order to build muscles, you have to hydrate yourself properly. So pre-workout, during workout, and post-workout nutrition is a totally different science. You need to work on those aspects, and definitely this can help you reverse aging. I have to drink a little bit water more. Now, coming back to the soreness and dryness of throat, especially in the corona time, we are all scared that do we have any throat infection? Have we got contaminated with COVID-19 or so? The best way, the easy way, take water. Okay, take a little bit of warm water that will cleanse your the food pipe, all this digestive system in the upper digestive tract. Warm water also relaxes the stomach muscles, you have to understand, and it also decreases the food craving, as I said, on the satiety factor. But however, drinking cold water is much better than not drinking water at all. Okay, so Pani Pio, that's the best thing. That's the easiest and the cheapest medicine God has given us. Now, coming back to the dietary fiber, okay, do you know that animal source of food have 0% dietary fiber? And that includes all these food products: milk, egg, mutton, fish, butter. Honey is a plant source, but cheese, yogurt, all these are basically sorry, honey is from the bees. Sorry for my mistake. But definitely all these have 0% fiber. Fiber are only present in plant products. That is the thumb rule that you have to understand. You have to increase your plant food content, including the fruits, vegetables, cereals, pulses. Okay, these are very important. Dietary fiber are those components of our diet which does not get broken down by the human digestive enzymes, and only when you ingest all this fiber, be it in a soluble form or an insoluble form, it helps in the gut health. I'll come to that. Before that, I just wanted to just put a point here that WHO, World Health Organization, has suggested us that we need to take around 25 gram or more of fiber per day. Unfortunately, even in India, we aren't taking even sometimes 20 grams from all this figure. But our Indian ICMR has also suggested that an adult need to take at least 40 grams of dietary fiber. And if you dig up, Google some of the reports, some of the literature from good writers, you will see that our hunter-gatherers, they were actually consuming more than 100 grams of fiber in a day. Okay, and they were much more better in the physical health. And definitely, this should ring a bell in you that if your diet is deficient in fiber, you need to work on that. And also, this we have highlighted on the children dietary fiber intake that you can see. And all these are the fruits. This come the nuts, rich in fiber, and soluble as well as insoluble fiber. You need both of them. Especially you cannot say that I'll take only soluble, you cannot say I'll take only insoluble. You need both for the better stool movement, better gut health, because different fibers are being eaten by different bacteria in your gut. So you need a diverse amount of fiber. And definitely it helps in obesity, constipation, fissures, fistula, piles, cardiovascular diseases, type 2 diabetes, and certain cancers. And what I was coming through that is when you ingest fiber, then the fiber is being eaten by the microbes, good microbes in your gut, and then it releases certain amount of short chain fatty acid, let's say a butyric acid, carbon 4, and these butyric acid then get into the bloodstream. It revolves around our body. It kills the cancerous cell in your body, which is outgrowing. Okay, it kills it. And that's how we can remain cancer free for our whole lifetime. Obviously there are many other things associated with it, but definitely this short chain fatty acid from the gut is very important. However, in other case, if you don't consume fiber, then what will happen is you will have a very less amount of short chain fatty acid in your body. As the result, the cancer cell in your body or any organ can keep on growing, and then first it becomes tumor, and then it becomes the larger issue. Okay, so please try to increase your fiber diet in your body, especially the Bengalis and the Gujaratis. And so these are the gut health, very simple on this, to understand that gut is the main thing in your body, is the second brain, and all disease starts from gut. Even in your, if you have any issues in your eyes, on your leg, on your heart, on your lungs, everything starts from your gut. Even in the COVID time, there will be a gut dysbiosis once the virus enter into your body. Once the gut is dysbiosed, and then all the issues of the various issues of the lungs and other COVID-19 issues start to appear. Okay, so keep your gut in a homeostasis condition, in a harmony condition, balance condition. That's the main thing. So the take-home message is definitely hydrate yourself with a good amount of water, fiber, and focus on your gut health. What will benefit you? So these are non-negotiable things. So this is just a small prayas, a try to give back to our society, because unless you in the society don't understand or get a proper knowledge of simple nutrition, then you will not be able to make the correct choice. Okay, so I stop this screen now, and I'm now open to questions. We have hardly 5 minutes or so. So please ask question if you have any.
So I don't have a question as such, Arnav, but I do have a feedback for this one, because I think water is the most neglected thing in daily life, and it was really important to bring out all the elements related to water. I think a lot of things I'm sure a lot of us didn't know, and it's important to be updated on all these aspects of how important water is in daily life. So thank you for doing this session with us on water. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions from anyone? And if you have any other queries related to the water and nutrition, you can ask also on the fiber, on the maybe some other part of the nutrition aspect. If you want to know, we can just discuss a little bit.
I think I'm not sure if you have touched that already, where the how important is to have good amount of water along with when you have your intake is like in line with RDA requirement, because I'm sure that most of us are not taking fiber in line with RDAs, and at times it is required more in more quantity. And how important is to have more water along with high fiber, because
Yeah,
otherwise it becomes a totally wrong.
correct. So in case of the fiber, what happens if, let's say, if someone is going for a high fiber diet, but he is not taking enough amount of water, so what will happen is it will harden the stool even more. So when you are on a good amount of fibrous diet, you need to add water to hydrate it. As a result, the fiber will swell up and it will have a proper passage through the lower digestive system, basically through the anus. And this is the whole track from our mouth to the anus is called the GI tract. Okay, so everything is related. Every point in our body is related to each other. So it is very important that we should focus on drinking more water. I understand that in certain conditions like diabetes, people have to go to the loo more often than not, but definitely it is important that they don't sacrifice on drinking water. And especially in the corona times, we are all in our homes working from home, so even if you have to go once or twice in a 2-hour gap to loo, is fine, but don't sacrifice on drinking water. If you see, so much of water is getting excreted from our body through perspiration, through stool, through urine, and through the breathing. We are breathing from our nose, we are breathing from our mouth. So much of water is getting lost, and if you don't replenish that water, so afterwards you may, if you are obese, you may reduce your weight, but it is not the fat content that you're reducing, you're only reducing your water content, which is not actually the correct way. Another point that I want to talk here is some of our consumer of our gluten-free flour, which is Spotify. Under the brand of Spotify, we have currently 3 different gluten-free flour without wheat, barley, and rye, and it is nutritious from the level of the protein and the fiber, and it is very well balanced. Being a food scientist and being in this industry for 15 years, so we have devised this, we have invented this product range, and we will soon come with other value-added products like biscuits, noodles, etc. But the main thing what I want to tell here is it's very important that we focus on the nutrition. And one condition, one of our consumer, as I was telling, is on hyperhidrosia. So this is a condition, hyperhidrosia is a condition where a person sweats a lot. Okay, you may have seen some of your colleagues or some of your family members who sweat even while eating. Okay, the sweat just trickles down as if they are on a war while eating, or when they are in a meeting, they suddenly, it's not only about the stress, it's about a medical condition which they should take care from their dermatologist, they should take care from their doctors. But the main thing is there is some extra signal which is going from the brain to the exocrine sweat gland. As the result, your sweat gland releases the moisture on the surface of the skin. As the result, this is unwarranted sweat that you get. You are not see, sweating is a normal thing when you walk a lot, when you run a lot, if you are in a sauna, and let's say if you are really frightened, then sweating is a normal thing. But if you sweat without any of these triggers, then it is an abnormal thing. You need to check with your doctor. It's not a normal condition. Few of our consumers are having hyperhidrosia, and we are also understanding how the gluten is also related to many other diseases, not just hyperhidrosia, but there are many other things that are there. So in that case, if those patients also, they should not start drinking less water because if they have hyperhidrosia, excessive sweating. It's not the case. You have to drink your water in a proper way, but you have to get yourself checked. And there are many remedies. The first line of defense, just keep in mind, the best of the best doctors in India always recommend the first line of defense for your condition is always a food. The second line of defense is the medication, the medicines or the injections. The third line of defense is the surgery. So best of the best doctors always say the solution remains in our kitchen. not in our operation theater. Okay, so always take care of your body. Food thy medicine has to be your concept, and that's how you have to go. And by the way, I think I have not mentioned one of our scientific advisor in our company is Dr. P.P. Bose from Delhi, and he has earlier worked in Safdarjung and Max Saket Hospital, and he's currently running his own entrepreneurship of hospital, and he's running his own hospital of SANS Foundation. And fortunately, he is on a scientific board. And because our product is very scientific, Spotify is very scientific and easily designed. It has a mix of different types of rice, pulses, millets, three different types of millets like Kodo millet, Barnyard millet, and ragi. These are very important. Vegetable powders it has, CDM has. So it's a well-balanced. Being a food scientist and earlier having worked in Britannia, Heinz, Novozymes, and I have 5 patents. So the experience that I've got in the corporate and in my academics, so I've tried to bring everything into the Spotify brand, and it's really helping the consumers out there. And I feel blessed that at least as a small startup entrepreneur of impeccable innovations, we are able to bring some change, even if it is for just 10 people is good enough. But the idea is to how to improve the understanding of nutrition in our whole community. Okay, so I think it was a great to be with you, and those people who will see this video in a recorded way in our YouTube channel. So kindly go through it. All these points are very important. We all know drinking water is very good and all, but hardly we follow. I think there is some sort of lethargy in us. That's why we don't drink our water. Otherwise, this is the best drink. As you see, this is the best drink in this universe. Okay, so thanks everyone for spending this Sunday afternoon with me. And lastly, if you have any other queries, you can just tell your understanding, or if you have any views on the things. Yeah, Chakri, I think Chakri has joined from Lipia Foods. Chakri, do you have any questions?
Hi, Arnav. I'm Saravanan here.
Yes, Saravanan sir. How are you?
I'm fine, Arnav. Arnav, my understanding is water is a neutral in pH. That was my understanding. It is neither acidic or nor alkaline.
Yeah.
But recently, in many ads, I'm seeing that water in current days or whatever we consume now is more acidic. Is it true? Therefore, consuming this water is going to be make more harmful to us. And what is the
yes, because of the certain salts which are in the water, what we drink, what we get from the pipelines to the ROs and home ROs. So there is a lot of treatment of the water to make it microbiologically safe and also chemically safe. So definitely what water we are today drinking may not be at the pH of 7. It may be at the pH of 6.7, 6.8, 6.5 even. Even the milk that we drink, the normal milk is around a pH of 6.5. However, the pH of our blood is 7.4. Okay, so let's say if we hover around this 7 pH plus and minus 0.2 is fine in my opinion. But definitely we should not drink too much of acidic water or too much of alkaline water. Let's say in the pH of 8 or 9. So those things are not correct. So, and also there is no established literature, proper literature, I'm saying, of seeing the value of alkaline water. So to answer to your question, definitely we are drinking a slightly acidic water nowadays. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we are about to finish this. Thanks everyone. Do always join Sunday Spotify Nutrition Darbar. And every Sunday we will bring on a newer aspects of nutrition, which is everywhere present, but I want to stress it in your head so that you drink more water rather than being a dehydrated person. Thank you everyone. Bye.
Thank you.